What is up, peeps? So let's talk some Texas Strongest Man, finally. It's been a little over a week since the comp. Um, Given all the posts everybody has seen on here, IG, all that stuff. Kind of went into this already a little messed up. Things did not go as planned, but I cannot complain. It was a really good show. It was a lot of fun. Met a lot of cool people. It was definitely a really great time. That all being said, a little bit of backstory. 2018, open heart surgery, I have a triple bypass, and I've always been into strongman. I've always been fascinated by strength, been fascinated by those, freaking giants. Never really thought about doing it. As a kid, I was always strong as a kid, but I never thought about lifting weights and all that stuff. Most of the guys I knew that did that kind of stuff, they were the football players, the jocks, and that wasn't my gig. Fast forward later in life, had a kid, was fat as hell, got into bodybuilding. Fast forward further in life, this happens, and when it did, one of the things I was told was that I would pretty much never be able to fully exert myself, as far as lifting really heavy, just crazy things like that, and it just didn't sit right with me. So naturally, I had to do it. Having said that, 2019, I kind of started getting some stuff together, just working out, nothing crazy. 2020 got a little bit more aggressive and trying to push weight. Started kind of messing with a few strongman implements, nothing crazy. 21 is when I really kind of started pushing, not strongman, just strength. Got a coach. I wanted to really work on building like foundational strength, and for a guy like me, 16 years old, I could throw engine blocks in dumpsters, but on a barbell, that's just not something I did. I wasn't used to doing it. It's not something that I trained or anything like that. And one thing I for sure came to realize was lifting heavy weight, particularly when you're talking about in a gym or even in strongman, really, really does come down to a lot of technique, breaking down the lifts, breaking down your own mechanics. And that was just something I didn't have, I'd never done it before. So got a coach, had the coach for about a year. Made really good progress. Before the coach, I don't think I ever pulled anything over like maybe 550 for a single. And at the end of that year, I was doing 585 for 5. And truth be told, I probably could have did a lot more than that. We got aggressive, but not too aggressive. Keep in mind, I am a father. I have a family, job, and a lot of times my job gets very demanding with hours. Not so much in recent time, but then particularly, which is actually why I left the coach. I kind of stopped training consistently. Naturally I still trained, but it just wasn't super consistent. And around 23, I decided that I'm going to give it a run. So I started training some more, and the end of 23, contacted Big Laws and did some minor work with him online, just kind of learning how to build strength towards strongman events. signed up for my first local Texas comp. Well, I guess it wasn't local, it was 11 hours away, but still. And second week in to really pushing comp training, I ripped my bicep off the bone. So yeah, that put me out for all of 24. I just could not get back into the groove. Wasn't sure that I wanted to go through that again. And saw the same show, the same comp pop up out in El Paso. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it. I have to, redemption, so to speak. And I started training, and lo and behold, week number 2, I get a bicep tear. This time it wasn't like tendon off the bone, it was just the tissue. Little bruising, nothing crazy. I still, had function. Just had to kind of back off a little bit. Backed off, did what I could training wise. Start messing with some stones, and there it goes again. So I thought maybe it just wasn't in the cards. I saw Texas Strongest Man pop up, which was a month later than the show I was going to try and do. And I decided, you know what? Torn bicep, can't really train for the comp. I'm going to do it anyways. And if I get to the comp and the bicep comes off, then screw it. At least I'll compete, and it'll come off in a competition and not here in the gym. So I did it. It went pretty well. So through the clips that you'll be watching, first clip, dumbbell press, very first rep, I felt the bicep. I have a tendency to pull hard, like a curl. I'm not real familiar with the implement. I have one, just not something that I train with a lot, not something that I have the technique for, just lack of training. But first rep, felt the bicep. And I thought, okay, if I could really pull with both and keep a lot of tension through the left side and get it up fast enough, get that pop off the bottom, I can keep it out. And I was able to do that for 8 reps. It was a little sore afterwards, but it was enough to give me a 3rd place, and move on to the next event, which was the car deadlift. The car deadlift, they called 700 pounds in hand. I don't think it was 700 pounds, but neither here nor there. Again, first time ever doing it. A few of the guys had kind of given me some advice on the difference in a regular deadlift versus the car deadlift because of the leverage. In the heat of the moment, I did not listen to that. If you watch the clip, I'm coming straight up. My calves and knees are quivering at the top because everything is trying to pull me in a direction that I'm not going. And I definitely paid for it. I paid for also listening too much to the judges, the rules meeting in the beginning. I was consistently waiting for an up, and it just took too much time. I ended up with 16 reps. I feel like I could have gotten probably another 10. So again, I walked away with 3rd. The next event, Husafelt bag, 220 pounds into a 455 pound frame. I knew I had to get the bag up without causing too much issue to the bicep. Again, so I had it set straight up and down so I can come underneath it, get it up, and really use my hips to get the bag into position. Went well. I didn't feel too much pressure. Good carry, got to the frame. First pick on the frame was good. Not too bad. I got a little bit of teeter in the beginning, but I expected it. Just not quite so much. Get down the first 50 feet, pick the frame up, and knew I didn't have a good pick, but I was in a hurry, timed, went down the first time, and when I regripped, I should have known from the first time to pay more attention to coming underneath, and I did not, and I ended up ripping the skin off my hand on the next fall. Tried to give it another go, and it just wasn't there. I got a little bit more out of it, but that was it. The skin was gone and the grip was done. So I ended up, I believe, in second on that event. Then we go to the Hercules hold, which was an absolute nightmare. I tried taping the fingers up. As soon as they let go, it pulled the tape, ripped it right out of my hands. I probably should have given a second shot. There's no video of that. I'll put a picture in there. But I probably should have given it a second go and just tried to, really let it rip whatever off it was going to rip off. But I didn't bother. And then we went to the stones. The platform had me nervous. 56-inch platform. I'm a short dude. 5'7" if I'm lucky on a good day. First stone was 208 pounds. And my biggest stone is 200. So I knew it would be interesting, to say the least. And it flew up. I'd never had tachyon before. And the stones is where I knew I was going to lose the bicep. I had never had tachyon before, and it is an absolute game changer. Night and day difference. Threw the first one up like it was, 100 pounds. I knew there was no one motioning anything. I knew better than to try to do any of that. Stopped the first one, went right up. Stopped the second one, right up. Third one, same thing, right up. Got to the fourth one, and I should have made them wipe these down first. I was the first one out, and regretfully I did not. And tacky all over my hands, stone grit all over the stone, all over the floor. The stone is smooth as hell and a very flat bottom. My mistake, I should have rolled the stone over and gone underneath it. But even with slick hands, I was able to get the forearms to grip. It came up. It was not heavy, but I knew I didn't have a good grip. My hands were sliding, and I did not listen to the other competitors who kind of gave me some advice again. If it slips, let it go, reset. And that's where I lost it. I slipped, as you can see in the video. As soon as I slipped, I reached to re-grab it, and that was it. I tried to go back up and make it work, but it felt like trying to grab a stone with a pool noodle. So I knew that was it. That was pretty much the end of it. So far, I haven't noticed anything too crazy. There was a little bit of bruising, nothing crazy, which kind of happened the same way with this one. I mean, this one ripped, like I said, completely off the bone, and there wasn't really much bruising at all until after the surgery. And I was black and blue for literally my entire arm, but it's been sore. I mean, if I have a 32-ounce tumbler that's full, it hurts to try and take a drink. So I will definitely be out for a while. However, side note, was not anticipating anything else because I did not feel anything that day. Over the course of the next few days, I did develop a pretty good sized cyst on the back of my knee, a lot of fluid in the knee. Knee feels like it's the size of a basketball, so I get to go get that checked out. Hopefully it's just a quick cut, a drain, steroid shot, and go, because I do plan on getting into OSG regionals in San Antonio, which is August 30th. That will be a much bigger deal. Let this rehab for another 7 weeks or so and just do what I can, lower body, just some blood flow work. Like I said, I mean, a full 32-ounce tumbler, just trying to take a drink of it, it's, it's in rough shape, but I'm going to make it, and I'm going to do that show, and I'm going to do better than that third place right there. Hell or high water. So I think if I have a good actual run of training, a good comp training, 8-9 weeks, I know I could do a hell of a lot better than I did not to take away anything from the guys who placed first and second. They were strong as fuck, man. I mean, I'm not sure of Morgan Taylor's age, but Joe Sewell, 26 years old. I mean, kid's a fucking unit, man. Just absolute monster, and some of the coolest guys I think I've ever met. So, hats off to them. They earn their spot for sure. You just as somebody who's competitive, you always are going to expect more of yourself, and I certainly expected more of myself. I went there with the mindset of having fun, knowing that I was hurt, but hurt or not, I still had the mindset of I'm gonna fuck this up and I'm gonna win, and I did not. So that will not be the case. So if you are someone who will be at the San Antonio OSG Regional, prepare to lose, because I'm not going there and taking anything less than first. See you there.